All right, everybody. This is L&M Productions, and welcome to the stream. We are getting things set up here, so we'll get started shortly. Let's make sure good everything's working. So we'll be doing the new route that I've just acquired, Coal Country, and we will let's see. We'll just start on this session here. Not bad. Start on the save I've got. I just got this route, so I figured why not kick it off with a live stream. If you guys like this, I can make it a regular occurrence every Saturday night. So how's everyone doing on this Saturday night? We are following a CSX coal train from he's coming down the branch heading toward Peabody. He's got a special going up the line here. An excursion with 765 on the point. Peabody Mine Branch, we're just going under it here. That's a bridge to it, right over us. Excuse me, guys. Pull him on into the siding here, down into the yard here. He has got to make some setouts. Got an Amtrak train once it loads in here. I guess it's, I don't know why it's doing that. An Amtrak train with a P40D with some private cars behind it. So I guess that technically makes it a charter train, although I'm not for sure. I really don't know. Look at this. I absolutely dig these color position light signals. I absolutely dig those. Those are very mint. It's got a typical early CSX lash up. It's got dash 7, a Jeep 40-2, an SD 40-2, and another dash 7, a Family Lines dash 7. So check him out. He's got, look at this. He's got a stupidly long train behind him. Give me the controls to it. Thank you very much. So this is an empty train coming back down the branch. He's a Peabody to, I'm sorry, a Parker to Richmond turn train. Get to see some operations on the Richmond, Peabody, and Parker Railroad. You can see he's meeting a charter train that's passing him there. Very short one. Gonna stop up there. He's a pretty good long train, this one, so wouldn't really expect much. Went up to the CNO and TP today and caught a fair amount of stuff. Bagged a tanker oil can train going south. It was a long one too. He had an ES44 DC with an Ace and another GE. There was another wide cab. I couldn't tell what it was. Now he's pulling into the yard at Richmond Junction. This is what I call this. See, we got whoa, what? I just saw it. Where'd it go? There he is. Oh. Zoomed in too far. Zoom out a little bit. Yeah, there he is. There he is. Just sitting there watching trains. Wait, what? I am so confused. Did I guess I stopped him by accident. That was kind of confusing. Just how this is laid out reminds me so much of the CSX CC sub out near the Ravenna yard back in its day. Just reminds me so much of that. I think this line looks a lot like the CC sub, but that's just me. I think it's heavily inspired off that. There's really you're not going to see much on this line other than just coal and freight trains. That's about all you'll see. You'll see some freight trains, most of which are through trains. You'll see like 1 or 2 passenger trains, I think, that run down this line. That's about it. Even though the CC in real life quit getting passenger trains a long time ago. Seeing as it was a branch, not a main line. he's got a red signal there, so he's waiting for this guy to. He's waiting for him to get into the siding here, even though he's really going into the yard. Capital Y there. Got quite a bit of stuff here in the yard. We got a. That's another coal train. He's a loaded though. That is U760, I think is who he is. I may not be using real train symbols, but oh well. I don't really care. So we have a little bit of realism in here. I am fine with that. And he's probably going to use the south lead on the yard to pull in and make a set out. He's setting out a bunch of coal cars. So we got a cut of other cars here that are just waiting to. These need to go up to the mine up on the Richmond branch and be loaded. They're through cars. See now he can go on north. He's got the clear. This is when I think about it, this is actually similar to the PTI on the CSX EK sub. It's kind of similar to that because you've got the connection right here, then you've got the short line that does their work here. So this railroad here almost exclusively rosters GP7s. And I think maybe 4 Jeep 10s, I think. Almost all of which I think are ex-Illinois Central. Also Jeep 7s, I think 2 are... Oh, they have 2 Jeep 18s, I forgot to mention, both of which are XPRR Conrail. Even if you're running freeware stuff on here, I still think it's really realistic. He stopped right here. So here is 2 of the Jeep 7s that they've got. And these are Jeep 9s, I mean. With a very nice, what I believe was a hybrid P5 horn. Alright, let's see here. Okay, we're going to go down to the south lead. This is the big move. They have brought in two ex-Milwaukee Road F3As, and these are going to be restored. Don't really need the lights on. They have ditch lights on these Jeep 7s, which is really nice. I personally think for $40 this is worth it. This little 8-mile route, I like it. It's a very nice route. Gotta switch up for him. I also heard that CSX is going to put two of their Dash 7s on lease to the RP&P. This route is really set up to operate, or at least what I have it on, it's set up to operate in like the power I'm running, it's set up to run between early CSX to about around 2010, 2011 roughly. This is a maintenance train that just pulled into the yard. I think W116, I think is his name. Or train number, I should say. So you know, these old F units, these are dead in tow, or DIT. They're expecting to have these running probably in August of this year, since they just pulled them. So we will take a look at operations on the RP&P probably in August of 2020. Railroad has kind of had a hard time due to a pandemic, but it's getting back up on its feet, which is very good indeed. Very good. Here's a cab view of one of the old F units. No one really knows how they ended up on the RP&P, but they know that they went up to the storage track, which is up near Parker, where they used to go into the Gilbert's Tipple, but then they reworked the lead to it, so the old track, what for the most part was ripped up, and what wasn't, they just used as car storage, and somehow these old F units were buried way in the back with them. heck is it doing? Thinking here, guys. Just hold on. Okay, well, this changes things. Still does the same thing. Yeah, it's doing what I hoped it wouldn't do. I swear, making me mad. Okay, drivers. Some of these names have been in here for as long as I can remember. So what they're really just doing is they're just sorting their train here. They're getting these F units in the shop so they can start working on them. This just means they're going to have to move some things in the yard. For starters, the caboose track will be at the south lead instead of being up here behind the shops. They're going to move it. Okay. Roughly right in there. These F units probably aren't going to move for the rest of the winter. what is technically the runaway track is what they will use for temporarily as the caboose track. You kind of gotta pick and choose on where you put things in the yard, just because it's not really a huge yard. This train here is centered from the late 90s to early 2000s on CSX. You could even say it's from the late 80s. On what era it's from, on when it would be operating and such. There's two Jeep 10s and one of the Jeep 9s and one of the Jeep 18s sitting here on the fuel pad. Now recently the RP&P bought a set of 4 cars to serve as their maintenance cars. Well, actually 6, well 5. Being 3 gondolas and 2 flat cars. That's what you're seeing right here getting shuffled around the yard. So they're going to leave the maintenance train here. Which has two of the OCS cars on it. Whew. Excuse me. Yawning there. This locomotive is going to move the first F unit so they can get back to the cabooses and one other piece of miscellaneous equipment they have back there. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go do something real quick. Alrighty guys, now we're back. Okay, so we are moving some caboose and one of the shoving platforms. Probably my favorite locomotives to work on the route out of all of them are probably the Jeep 7s because of the hybrid P5s that they have on them. I just think they sound really nice. Probably the Mao cars are what they're going to be, or what's going to get put behind the shop. They may get moved to another part of the yard or another place in the system, even though the railroad's only 8 miles long, so it's not really a big railroad by any means of the imagination. Once we get him out of the way, we're gonna bring the office train up through. Okay, we can't do that. Or just, I know how we're gonna do this, so just stick with me. Stick with me. It's all gonna work out just fine. I got this on Steam, I think, for like $6 because it was on sale due to the New Year/Christmas sale. So I hope everyone had a happy Christmas, Hanukkah, or whatever it is you celebrate. I just hope you had a happy Christmas in whatever way or form it is, and a happy New Year. There's also a few industries need to be worked around the yard, so we'll take care of that while we're here. We may have to get one of the locomotives to shuttle these cars down to the bigger yard at Richmond. I'll show you what I mean by that. It'll just take a sec. Now they're going to run power light back up the engine, the shop track, enough to clear the switch. Once they do that, the other pair of Jeeps we've got on the OCS train, I'll I should technically call it a MAL train at this point. We'll come back down the main and they'll hand off the OCS equipment to this guy. So right now, out of the 4 Jeep 18s I've got, the other 3 are have been sent to LaGrange at EMD for some repairs. So they've only got just the Jeep 9s and the 2 Jeep 10s to work with right now, and the single 18 they've got here. We're just going through here and we're moving down the yard. Still got the coal train sitting here. It's kind of dull at the moment, but it'll pick back up here shortly. If I could get the route developer on trains to work, that'd be really nice. So what these cars will be used for, we have the 2 ex-Pennsylvania Railroad flat cars. Those were picked up from another short line that is only, I think, 25 miles away from where the RFMP is based at. And the gondolas were picked up at the same place, and they were bought for a cheap price. They are in operable condition, but they need to be restored, so they may have a lot of air to the point where they can run. Also, when you are moving the cabooses or caboose, you can't really toot the horn. I don't know why it is. I get with trains, I don't really understand it. So. for some reason, the yard platform, which is that piece of equipment that is right behind the Jeep 9s, for some reason it has a fully functional horn and bell. So I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't know why all these caboose have ditch lights on them. Oh my gosh, if I could speak right. This is getting annoying on how many times I'm doing that. Okay, now we've got the Dash 7s moving into the yard, and they're going to set out their coal train, or at least try to. These are empties that are heading for the mine at Richmond, which is just up. So that Amtrak is holding his position up at North Richmond. I should say West Richmond. This train is so long he's blocked access from the north, so. he's pulling through the yard so he can let U706 out of the yard, which is a northbound loaded coal train that is heading to one of the yards of the Parker. So he's going to be heading up that way. All that good stuff. And here comes his caboose right into town. So he's coming to a stop, so they're going to let him move out, go north. He's got a green signal, so he can proceed on. I'll show you the Hormus SD60. I don't know why it keeps acting like it's going to go, then it slows down again. I don't know what its deal is there, but... Alright, stop him. Alright, good. Where does he have a red at? Oh, okay. I see. So he's gonna come to a stop right there. He's so big, he will be setting out on at least 3 tracks. It's because that's how big he is. So he's setting out his cars in the yard, and then he'll bring his power probably into the power track, or he may just set on the south lead, well, east lead, down close to where the caboose are at. He actually may get his whole cut in one track. Have to take up all that room. He's not as big as I thought he was, but he's a pretty good sized train. Yeah, he can fit it in there. I didn't think he could, but he did. So he's gonna pull into the side, the Richmond runaway track. There goes an old Seaboard system unit. Most of the CSX units kept their original numbers into their CSX years, or Seaboard units. Units just in general, that's how they did. Alright, so he's gonna run light with the shoving platform to the west end of the yard. He has to pick up some cars there first. There's some lumber loads that need to be shoved into the Richmond transfer